Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. How are you?
Okay, great. I'm very good. How are you today, Indumati?
Yeah, I'm also good.
That's great. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. It's nice to see you again.
Yeah, nice to meet you again.
And so I got your
Mm,
message that today you want to practice present perfect continuous tense,
and
right?
yes,
Present perfect continuous. Okay, great, great. Well, then we can definitely practice this today. Um, I think that this tense can sometimes be a little bit more confusing, or it's not. It's just not used as often, so it's yeah, it might take a little bit more explanation. But if you have any questions, please just let me know. Okay.
okay, okay.
Okay, great. So the present perfect continuous is also sometimes called the present perfect progressive. Okay, so if you ever hear present perfect progressive, this means the same thing as present perfect continuous. Okay,
Continuous.
they have the same meaning, but it's just they have sometimes are referred to in these different ways. But this tense is a verb tense which is used to show that an action started in the past and has continued up until the present moment. Okay, so a little bit different from the ones we talked about before. Um, the present perfect continuous usually emphasizes duration, so how long or the amount of time that an action has been taking place. Okay, this is the
Okay,
main focus of present perfect continuous. I'll type this out so that you can remember. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, yeah. So it emphasizes, yeah, the duration of something, how long that it takes, that amount of time is what is most important. And we can talk a little bit about some different uses or the form as well when we are writing sentences or speaking sentences using this tense. So we'll start off with our form. Okay, Uh, the
okay,
form the form starts with has or have. Okay, then we add the word been. Okay, and
okay,
we finish with our present participle. Okay, so this is basically the format that we use when we are
mm,
creating sentences with our present perfect tense. Okay, has or
okay, okay.
have
Um,
been, and then our present participle. So basically, we can make a statement like, you have been waiting here for 2 hours. Okay, something like that
okay,
uses this format and is written in the present perfect progressive tense. If we want to ask a question, we just have to change kind of the order of the sentence a little bit. I could say the same topic, but just change to a question. I could say, or sorry, let me type this out 1 minute. Have you been waiting here for 2 hours? Okay, this is also using the same tense. It's just changed into a question. Okay, have
okay,
you been
okay.
instead
Been,
of you
okay,
have been. And then
okay,
also, if I want to change this to a negative, okay, I could say something like, you have not been waiting here for 2 hours. Okay, and
okay,
this
okay,
is a negative, so we just have to add not into our sentence, or if you want, you could use the contraction haven't. Okay, you haven't been waiting
okay,
here for 2 hours. Does that all make sense so far?
okay. Yeah,
Okay, great, great. So let's try and come up with some examples of this first. Then we'll move on a little bit, talk more about the the ways to use this kind of a tense. So let's try and come up with one sentence that we can form into a positive, a negative, and a question, just like this example here. Can you think of one?
and negative. I have not been using Cambly.
Very good, very good. And now remember, the focus
I
is on
haven't.
the amount of time, right? So if you could say something like, I have
Uh,
not been using Cambly for 1 week. Okay, that
Okay, okay.
the amount of
Mm,
time is important for this tense. Okay,
okay,
so yeah, you could say, yeah, I have not been using Cambly for 1 week. Then, if you want to
okay.
change this into a positive, what could you say?
I have been using Cambly for 1 week.
Perfect, perfect. And then a question.
Mm. How long have you been working in Cambly?
Very good, very good. Or if you want to use the same example, you can say, have you been using Cambly for 1 week? Okay. But yes, that
Okay,
was great. That was great. Let's continue now to the specific uses that we can have for the present perfect continuous. Okay. So the first use is similar to what I've already mentioned. It's for a duration of something from the past until now. Okay. So we can use this to talk about something that started in the past and has continued up until the present moment that we are saying this sentence or that we are using this sentence. Okay. Um, so I can type out a few examples here. Let's see. Our first example might be something like for 5 minutes. Okay, like for example, I have been
okay,
waiting for you for 5 minutes. Okay,
okay,
or for 2 weeks. I have been excited about this for 2 weeks. Okay,
okay,
or something like if you're referring to a specific day, you could say since Tuesday. Okay, I have been I have been planning this since Tuesday. Okay, this is when it
okay,
started and it's continued up until this point right now when I'm saying this. All of these are durations which can be used with the present perfect continuous. Okay,
okay, okay. I say some one example. My daughters has been writing homework for 1 hour. Is
exactly,
it right?
exactly. My daughter has been doing her homework for 1 hour. Perfect, perfect. Let's try using a different measurement of time. What about months? Can you come up with a sentence using this tense that uses months as a unit of time? Like
What
for,
is
like for example, I can say I have been studying for 5 months. Okay, this uses
okay, okay.
months as a way to measure time. Can you come up with a sentence that uses present perfect continuous uh, and
Mm.
uses months as a measurement of time?
uh, uh, I have been working in my jasmine plant for 1.5 months.
Perfect. Very good. That was great. Okay, awesome. Awesome. So these are basically or this is basically the first kind of use. I could give you a few more examples if you'd like, using some different
Mm.
pronouns and that kind of thing, different situations. One might be, they have been talking for the last hour. Okay. They have been talking for the
Okay,
last hour. Or I could say, she has been working at that company for 3 years. Okay. Our next one,
okay,
maybe, what have you been doing for the last 30 minutes? Okay. This is a question that uses this tense. Or one more, I could say, why has Nancy not been taking her medicine for the last 3 days? Okay. Something like this. All of these use present perfect continuous tense for this
okay,
purpose, to talk about something that started in the past and has continued up to the present moment. Okay. Now, we have a
okay,
second use for this tense as well. Okay. The second use is to talk about something that using the words like recently or lately. Okay. So we can also use present perfect continuous without a duration. Okay. Without describing a specific amount of time. So like for 2 weeks or anything like that, we don't have to say without the duration. The tense has a more general meaning of like lately or recently. Okay, we often use the words lately or recently to emphasize this meaning. Okay, so
Oh,
this is kind of the second way that we can form a sentence in this present perfect continuous tense uh, with just a slightly different kind of format. Okay, so I could say something like, recently I have been feeling very tired, or I've been feeling really tired. Okay, or
okay, okay.
um, she has been watching too much television lately. Okay, um, or something else might be, have you been exercising lately? Okay, this might be a question that you could ask using this tense. But in each of these sentences, you'll notice that we don't use a specific period of time, minutes, weeks, days, months. We just use the words recently or lately to describe the kind of time frame that we are talking about. So are you familiar with these terms, recently and lately? You know what they mean?
Yeah, I can understand. And yeah, uh, they they have been playing cricket. They have been playing IPL cricket for last 2 weeks.
Very good.
Mm,
Very good. Do you want to try using recently or lately added to this sentence? Or did you have it
yes.
at the beginning? I didn't quite hear.
Uh, yeah, I
Oh, you,
can
you said recently? Okay,
listen.
I see. Okay, so yeah, usually when we use recently or lately to kind of form our sentence in this way, we either start with this word or we
Mm,
finish with this word. Okay, you'll notice in my examples, recently I have been feeling really tired. So recently starts at the beginning, it's the beginning of our
oh,
sentence. Um, or our second
okay,
one, she has been watching too much television lately. Lately is the last word in our sentence, it finishes it. Or have you been exercising lately? That one too finishes the sentence. Now, you can choose which one you would like to say or which position you want to put it in. Both are correct. So, for example, if I want to keep the sentence the same without changing the meaning, I could change the order of this sentence. For my first example, I could say the way that I've already written it. Recently, I have been feeling really tired. Okay, I'll write this one more time.
okay.
Or I could say, I have been feeling really tired recently.
Child.
Okay, and
Okay,
this is the
okay,
exact same
okay,
meaning. It's just the order of where I put that word recently gets switched. Okay.
okay.
Now, if you decide to start with recently and you are writing this, you need to put a comma after it. Okay. Because it's like recently, I have been really tired. So there's a bit of a pause. And so because of
Mm,
this, you need to put a comma. If it goes at the end, you don't need to put a comma. Okay, just the period after it. Does this make sense as well?
oh, yeah, I can
Okay,
understand.
great, great. Well, then let's try a few more examples using these words recently or lately. Can you think of another example?
um, I have been mm, wake up for last 1 hour.
Uh, you,
Is
you,
it
you
correct?
didn't use the word recently or lately. Where could you add to that sentence to make it this
Uh,
format?
okay. Recently. Mm.
Recently, I have been waking up early.
Recently, uh,
Very good. Very
yeah.
good. Yeah, that's a perfect example.
Uh,
You could say, recently, I have been waking up early, or I have been waking up
mm,
early recently. Both are correct. Do you want to try one with lately?
oh, mm, yeah, uh, I have been sleeping
I've
lately.
been sleeping a lot lately.
Uh,
Very good. Very good.
uh,
Okay, awesome. Awesome. That was great. That was great. Okay, so basically, yeah, these are the two kinds of main uses for this tense. Um, Now, one thing to remember is that the present perfect continuous kind of has this meaning already of lately or recently. So if you use the present perfect continuous in a question, such as, have you been feeling all right? It can already suggest to someone that the person might look sick or unhealthy because you're talking about what's happening right now or in the very, very near kind of past. So a question such as, have you been smoking, can suggest that you smell the smoke on the person, or have you been feeling all right, can suggest the person looks unwell. So use this tense in a question. Using this tense in a question suggests that you can see, smell, hear, or feel the results of the action. Okay, so it's impossible to insult someone too if you don't use this tense correctly, because of this, because of how immediate the kind of sense that is given once you use this tense. Okay, does that make sense as well?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So that's just something to kind of keep in mind. And it's also important to remember that non-continuous verbs cannot be used in any continuous tenses. Okay, so certain non-continuous meanings for mixed verbs cannot be used in continuous tenses either. Okay, so instead of using present perfect continuous with these verbs, you must use present perfect. Okay, so for example,
Okay.
instead of saying Sam has been having his car for 2 years, this is not correct. Instead, you would say Sam has had his car for 2 years. Okay, present perfect would
Okay.
be the correct way to say this sentence instead of present perfect continuous. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, great, great. Do you have any more questions for me about this tense, or was there anything you'd like me to explain a little bit more, Indumati?
Yeah, you say they means they have I have and we have
Yes,
and then I think it also have
it has. It
has
has. For he, she, and
okay
it, we would use has. Okay. For
has
I,
okay
they,
name singular persons as
singular
singular
person
persons
name,
name
has,
persons
has,
as
has. Yeah. Plural,
Mm,
have.
o-
Okay.
okay okay
Yes,
okay
yes. Oh,
yeah.
very good. They're good. That was a great question. Do you have any other questions that I can answer for you?
No, no. I have any questions.
Okay, great.
Yeah, Delhi. I am practicing tense now. Now this week, I am practicing tenses.
Very good. Very good. Tenses can be
Uh,
difficult sometimes. They can be confusing or frustrating, but it's a great thing to practice, because it's very, very useful in conversations in English. Definitely, is something that you need to know and be comfortable with for sure.
oh, okay,
Is
okay.
there a specific? Uh,
Thank you.
yeah, no
Then,
problem. No problem.
yeah.
I was
You
just
say.
going to say,
Yeah, no. I said just
if you have a
mm,
specific tense you want to practice next time, just again send me a message and I will prepare so that we can practice something specific for you the next time that we talk.
okay.